Hello everyone, in this short video I'd like to show you another demo of a game I made. This game was actually made in another engine. It was made in Pygame 2 and this engine is really really simple one compared to Unity or Unreal at least. Yeah, basically I can sum it up as the main game loop and then you can draw rectangles and images on the screen, and that's basically it for the engine. Okay, so now let's talk about the game. So here at the top you can see main buttons that you can use to just go through the main game sections. I didn't say it in the beginning. This is of course an RTS game. Here you have buildings that you can upgrade and you can use to recruit units and do other stuff. First let's talk about the most important one. So it's a city hall. Here you can just upgrade buildings. There is, you can see in the troops movement section that I'm getting attacked. We're gonna ignore it for now. So here you can, as you can see, you have a button to upgrade a building to another level. So let's, for example, click on a lumber mill. It's really self-explanatory. As you can see, the building got added to the building queue. Once the timer of the build finishes, we can see the building is on another level, and here we can go and see that the building actually got upgraded. Okay. So as I'm getting attacked, you can see here in the top right corner, I have my resources, which I use to obviously upgrade buildings and recruit units. As I'm getting attacked, you can see that my resources periodically decrease. That's why whenever enemy attacks me, he loots my resources. Here you can see in the report section that enemy actually attacked me. And here you can see the summary of the attack, and here how many resources he looted. So the main objectives of the game I didn't talk about earlier is to destroy the settlement of enemy. So here you can see my HP. I'm constantly getting attacked because this level implements algorithm that attacks me as fast as he can. So I will now lose. Okay. Now I'll open the game up again to just talk more in detail about what's going on, and now we'll try to actually beat the enemy. It should be fairly simple. The algorithm that does the AI for the enemy is not complicated at all. It just, whenever it has enough resources to recruit basic attack units, it just recruits it. I think he actually just recruits rogues, and whenever he has a rogue available in the settlement, then just he sends the attack to my village. So how do you send an attack, you may ask? You just click on enemy settlement, and then you have a table where you can just add units to the attack. Here in the brackets you are gonna see how many units you have available, as well as in this section. And then whenever after you choose which units you want to send, you just click send on attack, and then in troop movements you're gonna see that the attack is being made. Okay, so let's now try to beat the level. So to do it, we're gonna recruit a paladin. There aren't any tooltips yet implemented, so we don't have an idea what units actually do. But I'm gonna tell you that Paladin is one of the best defensive units. As you saw right a second ago, enemy attacked me with some unknown force, and then I managed to recruit a unit before the attack occurred. And now the battle resolved, and as you can see, my Paladin is still standing. I didn't lose resources. We can see in the report that there is a green indicator that tells us that we won the battle. Now we can see what actually happened. So this is the time of the attack. Here obviously we can see what time is right now. Here it tells us who won. We obviously won it. Those are coordinates on the map of the enemy. So it is 3-1 because it's counted from top left corner. Yeah, and coming back to the report, we can see that the enemy attacked us with 1 rogue, and his rogue died. Another thing that I want to add is that if you attack the enemy and if all of your units die, then you won't be able to see what units the enemy has. So in this example, the enemy does not know that we have a paladin in the village because all his attacking units died. Okay, and obviously no loot because nobody returned alive from this attack from the enemy's side. And as we can see, the enemy is not very smart. He keeps attacking us with 1 rogue, so he just recruits 1 rogue, sends it to our village. We just defend it with 1 paladin, and that's it. Okay, so as you can see, the gameplay is not really that complicated right now. It's just to show the mechanics. Okay, I didn't talk about the production section, but if you played any RTS game, it should be really self-explanatory. As you can see, it just tells us how many resources our settlement can generate every minute. And here you can just see whenever we click on the particular resource generating building, we can see the value that's produced every minute. Okay, and another building here that I didn't touch on yet is a warehouse. It just tells us how much of every resource we can store at the given moment in the village. So in this example, we can see indicated by the black square that we can right now store in the village a maximum of 1000 of each resource. If we upgrade our warehouse, then it will increase to this value. I didn't mention it, but it's pretty obvious that the recruitment queue in the barracks building looks a little bit different than in City Hall. Here is just a list of 2 buildings, so it means that we can only upgrade 2 buildings at once. But as you can see here, there's a different style of queue, and we can actually recruit up to or not really recruit, but add to queue up to 8 units. So as you can see, we have some resources stored in our village, so let's spend them to recruit some units and then perform a winning attack on our enemy. Okay, so for the attack, the good unit would be hunter and rogue combination, let's say. So let's first recruit a couple of hunters, a couple of rogues, I guess, and 1 warrior. And here we can see the progress bar that indicates that a unit is recruiting, and those are just sitting in queue. Whenever the enemy gets recruited, it gets added to units section. As you can see, we have now 1 hunter and 1 paladin, and the queue just cycles. It might be really simple whenever we talk about mechanics like that in terms of game development. Whenever we just talk from the perspective of Unity or Unreal programmer, because it might be very simple to implement there. But actually, I spent quite a lot of time trying to do this in Pygame, in Python. Not because of the language, of course, because it's actually quite simple, but because of the characteristics of the engine that I was new to, because it's basically programming totally from scratch. Okay, so now we can see our units are getting recruited. We are still at 1000 health because, as you can see in the list, the enemy keeps attacking us. Let's see. Let's watch the recent report from 40 seconds ago. And as you can see, the enemy is very stupid. He keeps attacking us with 1 rogue, and the rogue keeps dying, and we didn't even lose a unit in the process. Okay, So now I think the queue actually managed to end. We have all units we wanted to recruit. So now let's try attacking the enemy and let's see how it goes. So we'll leave one paladin just in case. And let's add the 2 rogues and 2 hunters, indicated by colors, of course. And now let's try sending an attack. As you can see, in the troops movement section, this indicator tells us that it's our attack, so it's from our side. And this indicator is a little bit more yellow than this one, let's say, because it just tells us that the attack is of mid size. So it's just defined by a few ifs in the code, so it's just number of units. I think that right now it just if the attack contains 4 or more units, then it's mid-size attack. So this is just to immediately see how many units are attacking us or how many units we sent to the enemy village. As you can see, now this indicator turned black. That means that our units are returning. And of course, here we can read from which village, from which settlement the units are traveling to which. Okay, here we have report of our attack. Let's see how it went down. Okay, so at the moment we can see enemy had no units. Here we can see how much resources we looted. And obviously none of our units died. And here also, because some of our units managed to stay alive, actually all of them in this case, we can also see how much damage was done to enemy settlement. So here we can see that the enemy got hit for 390 damage. Okay, so let's just hit him again with all our attacking force. Here we can see the enemy attacks us again. The attack isn't coming back to his village, that means they died. We can attack the enemy again. We can see that he still keeps attacking us with 1 rogue. And let's just finish the game at this point. Now let's just add some additional units. Oh, one thing that I think I didn't remember to mention is that whenever you upgrade the resource generating buildings, they just give more resource per minute. I think that's pretty obvious also if you are at least a little bit familiar with RTS games, so this is pretty common there in this genre. Okay, and then here you can see that I added 2 buildings to queue, and I couldn't click on third one, so it just is available to 2 buildings. The queue is just have capacity of 2. Okay, let's see how much HP enemy has. It's only at 220 right now. We attacked with the same amount of units, so we again dealt 390 damage. Let's do one final attack, and that should be it for this game. Well, so as you can see, the numbers of production per minute gets updated after the upgrade. Okay, so as you can see, the attack just reached the enemy, and we managed to destroy the enemy settlement. So thanks for watching. That's it for this video.